Hi everyone. Today I want to continue with the theme of self-attachment. Often when I'm sitting with people, the number one question that comes up when we begin to talk about self-attachment is people say, wow, that sounds great. How do I do that? And when I'm sitting with people, we often will do the practice right in the moment that something is happening. And then, of course, they're encouraged to go out and continue to practice these skills. One of them is referred to as unblending. And the idea behind unblending is that often what happens when we are in a state of overwhelm, or we're having a trauma response, or we're in flight, fight, freeze, any one of those central nervous system responses, we can often feel a sense of overwhelm, and the system becomes, we use the language of hijacked. The system becomes hijacked, and offering support to ourselves can be very challenging. And there are times where I know that self-support is not going to be available to me, and I can seek out my community if it's just too overwhelming. However, there are more times than the ones where I need support. I will do self-attachment, and that process is where first of all, I validate what I'm experiencing versus feeling the frustration of what I'm experiencing. I will say something like, wow, you're really overwhelmed right now. Wow, this feels really hard. And I will touch my body. I will acknowledge that there's an experience happening in here. And then when I do that, I will seek to get a little space from that experience. And I can do that in all kinds of ways. Sometimes I can stand in front of a mirror and I just start talking to myself. And that is the process of, wow, girl, you are really activated. And then I will, what you're experiencing makes sense to me. I can see that you are, that you're needing something in this moment. I can really feel how hard this is. And in that, just in that alone, my system will begin to it's that process of, oh, somebody's here for me. And it's me. I'm here for me. Then there are times where I want to have a bit of a longer conversation about what's actually going on, and I want to get more information about what's happening in this overwhelm. And I will, maybe I will imagine that I'm asking this part of myself. Maybe it's a child part, and I'm asking her to just take a little bit of a step back. I'm going to acknowledge that she's feeling a whole lot of stuff, and I'm like, I can feel that you're having a hard time. Give me a little bit of space because I want to support you. And in that, right away, I can feel, ooh, okay, that's settling it. So I'm not pushing the emotion down. I'm not repressing the emotion. I'm actually just getting enough space so I can feel the part of me that is not overwhelmed, because I do have a part of me that's not overwhelmed and has the capacity to support the part of me that is overwhelmed. And I want to add that this process takes quite a bit of time, because it's awkward and strange in the beginning. Maybe even some of you are thinking, she's a weirdo. You're not wrong. It takes a lot of practice. And for some people, they try it the first few times and they're like, wow, this really works. And then they forget to use the skill. So I want to remind you that it's a hit and miss process. It's not always going to work, that you try to give yourself that support and you attempt. So self-attachment takes a little while, because there are many parts of you that don't trust you. If you haven't nurtured and built self-attachment, you're not going to have the trust of the part. Even when you come in to say, I really want to be there for you, that part's going to be like, what? So you have to build yourself up into this process. So some of the skills you can use are journaling, mirror, like standing in front of a mirror so you can actually see in your eyes and support your own self. Maybe imagining that there's a chair across from you, or you can actually put a chair across from you and imagine that the part of you that's overwhelmed is sitting in the chair, and you're offering them the care and compassion that you would offer to a child, to a friend, to a colleague, to a family member, to anyone external to you. That support is no different than what you offer to yourself. So give it a shot, and let us know how it went in the comments. Mm-hmm.